I found out about the affair on a Thursday. Not because she confessed, not because I caught her, but because her laughter didn't sound like it belonged to me anymore. We were at a dinner party with friends, and across the table, she laughed, softly, freely, at something Daniel said. Daniel, my co-worker. Daniel, who used to ask me for relationship advice over coffee breaks. Her hand brushed his when he passed her the wine. It was small, almost invisible, but my gut twisted in that ancient, unmistakable way that tells you something's wrong. I told myself I was paranoid, that 10 years of marriage couldn't unravel over a touch and a laugh. But once that seed of doubt took root, it grew fast, wild and choking. The next day, when she said she was meeting a client for lunch, I followed her. I hated myself for it, for sneaking, for watching her from across the street like some desperate stranger. She sat at the corner cafe, sunlight spilling across her hair, the way I used to love, and then Daniel arrived. He leaned in to kiss her cheek. She didn't pull away. I remember the coffee cup shaking in my hand, the sound of it shattering on the pavement. I remember her looking up, eyes wide, lips parted, and in that instant, between the shock and the guilt, I knew it was true. The confrontation wasn't cinematic. There was no screaming, no plates thrown, no tears. At least not from her. She stood there, pale, trembling, clutching the edge of the kitchen counter, like it might save her. Tell me it's not what it looks like, I said. My voice was calm. Too calm. She opened her mouth, then closed it. A pause. That pause was everything. I'm sorry, she whispered. I didn't mean for it to happen. That line, I didn't mean for it to happen, still echoes in my head sometimes, even after all these years. She said it had been months, that it started with friendship, that she felt lonely, that I'd drifted. I wanted to hate her for it, but part of me, an awful broken part, believed her, because she wasn't lying about the loneliness. We'd been living like polite strangers, sharing space, but not selves. Still, knowing that didn't make it hurt any less. The divorce was quiet. No custody battles. No shouting matches over furniture. Just two people signing papers and trying not to look at each other for too long. I moved out first. She stayed in the house. I couldn't. For years after, I told myself I was over it. I dated a bit, worked too much, told people I was fine. But every so often, I'd catch the scent of her perfume on someone passing by, or hear her laugh in a crowded place, and it would rip something open again. I didn't see her for 7 years, until one rainy afternoon in March. I was sitting in a bookstore cafe, flipping through a novel I didn't intend to buy, when I heard her voice. Soft, unsure. Ethan? I looked up. There she was. Older, a little thinner, lines around her eyes that hadn't been there before. But still her. Hi, I managed. We sat, talked. The conversation was awkward at first, whether work, polite small talk. But then the silence between us shifted, like the air before a storm. I heard you got married again, she said quietly. I did, I said. Didn't last. She nodded. I'm sorry. We both laughed a little at the absurdity of it, her apologizing for that. Then, after a long pause, she said, I think about what I did every day. I was selfish. I hurt you, and you didn't deserve that. I didn't know what to say. For years I'd imagined this moment, what I'd say if I ever saw her again. But sitting there, all the anger, the bitterness, it felt heavy, old, like something I'd been carrying too long. I wasn't perfect either. I said finally, we stopped talking. I stopped trying. Doesn't make what you did right. But I wasn't blameless. Her eyes filled, but she didn't cry. Neither did I. When we stood to leave, she reached out and touched my hand. I'm glad you're okay, she said. And for the first time in 7 years, I realized I actually was. We walked out into the rain, went our separate ways. I didn't look back. I didn't need to, because in that moment, I understood that forgiveness isn't about forgetting. It's about letting go. And after 7 years of carrying her ghost, I finally did.